Hey, good day, guys. This is Mngoni Mkonto, and this is the Royal Opinion. I've been I went, I disappeared a little bit, but when I see the events that are happening at the moment, they prompt me to make this presentation. I don't know how long will this presentation take, but I hope, however long it takes, somebody will get something out of it because this is very what I'm going to discuss today. Uh, I'll title it at the end, "The Death of the African Child," and now uh, I will explain why I will let the end title it like that. When the white people came to Africa, they found that black people were sitting in groupings. Black people, one man would be married to 10 or even more wives. One man would have, on average, 50 to 100 children per household, from one man and with different women. So then when the white people came here, uh, they came with guns and fought the indigenous people here and won the war because we can call it a battle because they had guns and Africans did not have guns. And there's a reason as well why we were not uh, ready with guns to fight the Europeans. So they actually conquered and won over us using guns. But then they soon realized that it was very difficult to defeat these people, even though we've killed a lot of them. It's hard uh, for the white men to control these black people, and they did not understand what is the reason, and they started to study the behavior of the black men and the secret behind the, uh, their struggle to control him. And they realized that the only thing that the black man has is the groupings, the culture, the groupings, because it was a name, when it's one family, when one man has over 100 children, he's got command to over 100 people, and those people have got children, and those children have got other children. So at the end, you might find in one family, they become a village, and all of those people are in the command of one person. So because these people are in the command of one person, they were united because it was only one person who would make the final decision for the family. And leadership in the African family is uncontested because it's linked to the ancestors. It's linked to your communication with the ancestors. What it means is, uh, even if somebody wants to take your position in the family, they won't be able to take it because communication with the ancestors, there are particular people who are authorized by birth to communicate with their ancestors. So if you take their position, if you are not authorized, it won't work. So that was the issue. The leadership in the African context or in the African family, it's uncontested. It's linked to our spirituality. So when one man has over 1,000 children and grandchildren, he commands respect on all of those people, and he commands on what should happen to them at any given time. If the old man wakes up and say, today all children must have a bald head, you must cut their hair, all children will be cut, their hair will be cut. Just like that, because the command and the instruction was not questioned in the African sense, because you don't know what that leader has got from his ancestors. So because of that, the leadership in African family is stable. There's a stability in terms of leadership. There's no election. You know who is having which position by birth. When they are born into a position. And whatever position that they are born is a position of leadership. Sometimes it's supporting the king, or sometimes is supporting the main men. Women are born into positions as well. There are different roles. There are roles that are played by the firstborns, the roles that are played by the lastborns, uh, differently like that. So, getting back to what I'm talking about, because of those facts, there was stability in the African leadership. Or even the kingdoms were born like that, where there were no contestations for kingdoms, because it was linked to the communication with the ancestors. If you are not the one who is authorized to be the king, you can't lead your people in the right direction. You will always destroy your people, because you are not the one who is authorized spiritually to handle those positions. So when white people realize that these people uh, cannot be defeated by guns only, we need to destroy their culture. They started splitting us. They started discouraging a big family. They discouraged marrying many wives for the black man. Heavily. They discampaigned it so that the people are you have less people that are under your command. When people are not in your family, you don't have control over them. But if they are in your family, in your house, then you have control over them. So if they fracture the 1,000 people family and make it 3 people family, because it would be let's say 4 people family, because it's a wife and a husband and 2 children. Your command will only be I've got some cows here which are disturbing my videos, wanting to come into my farm there, so I'm just chasing it away. Yeah, so back to what we were talking about. In that way, they realize that for these people to be actually defeated, we need to destroy this culture that they are having. It's actually the culture that they are having. It's actually their only strength. So if we destroy them, we will be able to make them into fragments. We will fracture them. So they campaign, and they actually did it very successful from those years, from the 1800, the 1700 up until today, which is 2022. They have done it very successful. They have fractured the black family. They divided the man and the woman. Previously, the man and the woman were waking up in one house, going to work in the fields. They took the men to be slaves in the farms, and to be slaves in the mines, and leave the women at home. And because of the way the black people were treated at work, the black people were humiliated. You would be kicked by a small little white boy, and that boy would actually call you a boy and kick you in your testicles, just like that. So they were humiliated. So most of black people, out of frustration, they fall into alcohol and uh, drugs and smoking and all of those things that a black man at the end find himself in, out of humiliation. And he found himself an abuser because, when someone is abused, he himself becomes the abuser. So because this black man has been abused and humiliated, uh, and his soft target is the black woman, so he wants to humiliate as well uh, his black woman. So they succeeded in that regard. And because the black man was in misery, even the life of the black man and the life of the black woman was not the same. The black woman would live longer in Africa than the black man, because the behavior of the black man was becoming uncontrollable because of his humiliation and suffering, his low self-esteem, which was like entrenched in him. So unfortunately, because these people they don't get enough by just dividing up to that extent. They want to fracture up until to the unit. They want to kill until to the unit. So now they went on and make the black woman to behave the same as the black man. The black man was not available for his children because of his behavior. Now the black woman is also not available for their children because of their behavior. The black woman has become fractured. The black woman has become a drunkard. Prostitution is no more an issue for the black woman. Sleeping around is no more an issue, which was a very, very a serious issue for a black woman. A black woman wouldn't be sleeping around. But these days, the black woman has been sexualized. The black man is sleeping around. The black woman is sleeping around. There's no formal structure in marriage. You just go around and waste your energy and come back to a very small household. Uh, so you are made to work hard or to waste a lot of energy without producing anything. There's nothing that you are producing out of your uh, sleeping around. You're just wasting your energy. While in the previous time, you would be married to all of those women, and all of those women would be giving you children. Numbers are very important. Numbers matter. If you have 10 children and they contribute 10,000 each, you have 100,000. If you have two children and contribute 10,000 each, you have 20,000. It's a huge difference. It's a very big difference. The numbers are very important, and the numbers are the ones which are ruling. So now, because the black woman, it's also gone, she's no more available. She's now a single mother. She's frustrated. She also went on to alcohol to drink her misery, to join her man in the misery of humiliation. So there's nobody left for the African child. The African child is left alone. There's nobody left to grow the African child, to teach the African child. The African child is now left to the machine, to the command of the machine. They only have the Facebook algorithm and the YouTube algorithm to teach them whatever they have to learn in their lives. Because they have been handed over to the enemy from the start, they are made zombies because of what is promoted and because what they teach them. There's nothing that these people are teaching our children. We've left our children to the television. We've left our children to the to YouTube and to social media to grow these children. And because we've left them to our enemies, so they grow up like zombies. We don't have children. They are already taken over. We actually have sold them out into the system of slavery. 2022, people are made to believe that slavery happened a long time ago. But in reality, this time is the highest of, is the height, so to say, of slavery. Slavery is now at its peak. Racism, slavery, and discrimination, economic discrimination, mass killing, it's happening now at a scale that the planet has never seen. Eh, but people are made to believe that these things happened a long time ago. People are made to believe that apartheid happened a long time ago. While we are in the apartheid government and we are in the British Empire, which does not care about human life. They thrive in destruction. They thrive in division. The British Empire, they thrive in all of those. I don't know what will be the solution, but I think if people can, because if you eat their food, if you agree to eat their food, you will never have clarity in your thinking. If you agree to eat their food, you will never be free from the system. Because through this food, that's where they are controlling the masses, and that's where they are creating the slaves. The food that we eat, some of them makes our brain clever. There's food that you eat will make your brain stupid. So we need to know which food is actually meant for slavery, because there's slave food there's royal food. So the slave food is what the masses are eating at the moment. That's why voluntarily 98% of the people are volunteering slaves. They are volunteering slaves. Uh, there's even, you even compete to become slaves these days. A long time ago, they used to adapt them and take them to Europe to become slaves. These days, no, you even compete with your fellow people to become slaves. You fight for those positions, the slavery positions. Yeah, so basically, this what I wanted to talk about, the death of the African child, and this child can only be saved by people who are conscious. If you want to start to save the child, refuse to eat the food. Please, let's refuse to eat their food. Let's get back to our cultural food. When we eat our food, our mind becomes clear and we're able to see what these people are doing. I am out. I thank you for listening.